Brodes Media.
I actually enjoyed myself on Friday night watching Kyle Schwarber hit 2 nukes and watching JT Realmuto get in on the action as well all weekend long. That play by Rojas with JT's tag when he jumps 75 feet in the air and still applies it. Now, truth be told, it was a garbage slide, and if he utilized his legs instead of his hand, then more times than not, he's in there. But the truth is, JT Realmuto is a freak athletically. That still shows. And truth be told, I think he actually has more offensive girth right now. More offensive pop than I ever thought he'd have. I thought at this point he was cooked. I thought at this point he was fried. And he just got to live with it. But out of nowhere, he got a new wave. And there's some resurgence, which goes hand in hand with some of the comments made by Dave Dombrowski and Rob Thompson over the last few weeks, which is we can't fix all the problems at the deadline. So something that must go down is we need to look within, and we need guys to step up, and we need players that are already in this clubhouse to do something that they haven't done yet this season. And JT Realmuto has grabbed that by the horns, and he's going full throttle, and it's really damn fun to watch. So I think that's why I have my needle moved over the weekend a bit, because I saw something that I never anticipated, which then makes me wonder and speculate how this could go if Dave Dombrowski actually knocks this out of the park by Thursday. And there's so many things leaked. There's so many different hypotheticals out there, and Suarez would be awesome to acquire at third base, but then what do you do with Alec Boehm? Okay, you put him at first, and then Kyle Schwarber plays left, but then where does Bryce Harper go? He's not just going to DH. There's no way in hell Bryce Harper is going to DH when he is healthy enough to play the field every day. If it's last case scenario, fine, but not if he is available and can be active. He's going to want to be on the field. So then does that work the Nick Castellanos trade rumors into the mix? And now you have Bryce Harper going back to right field, which then makes things more intriguing and the puzzle pieces align. I don't know. I mean, I'd be stunned if it was that many moving parts, and I will have to wait to see it to believe it. But I'm starting to wonder if that's a route they're going to go. And I'm starting to wonder if the reason why Nick Castellanos didn't play on Saturday is because he was pissed off that the trade rumors were potentially true. I'm starting to wonder if his first at-bat on Sunday when he hit a bomb was almost a flip off Rob Thompson and flip off Dave Dombrowski. The problem is he ended up having hot garbage right field play again, along with Rojas, which screwed Zack Wheeler, but Wheels didn't have his best stuff anyway. It's strange, the Zack Wheeler performances that we've gotten over the last few starts. I wonder, and this is me, see, I hate that this is where my brain goes, but I don't lie about how I feel. On Saturday night, since the Phillies played a 1 o'clock game, I was able to catch some of the national Fox broadcast, and I even caught some MLB Network Seattle Mariners, Los Angeles Angels as well. So clearly I'm in the back half of baseball mode, and I'm feeling the intensity of the crowds on a night-to-night basis, and it just feels more important now. So I'm starting to get engaged with outside of just Philadelphia Phillies baseball, truth be told. But one of the things they were saying on the Fox broadcast, John Smoltz was saying this, and that was, you see the Dodgers, the current state of their pen right now. This is the price you pay when you put a lot of wear and tear on guys to go after it all and to win a World Series. And, you know, you got to do whatever you got to do to win, and then you pay the price later. Well, there is just something that I'm wondering with Zack Wheeler, which is you're going to the World Series pitching a ton of innings. You're going to the NLCS pitching a ton of innings, being the workhorse. Even in this outing, he doesn't even go through 6, but he's throwing over 100 pitches. So last year in the NLDS, not that that's very far into the playoffs, but over time, you add all of that up. And is that why this second half he is having uncharacteristic type starts? Or it's straight up just he needs to get out of this funk? Because my mind always goes to, are they able to physically handle the workload that they currently have on their body. That's my number one staple, my number one go-to whenever somebody doesn't live up to a standard. With Jesus Luzardo, last year it was about 66 innings. Now, I'm wondering if there's a correlation. Ranger Suarez, second halves in previous seasons, he had a stinker his first go-around. He did better his second go-around in the second half. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was good. It calms my nerves, okay? It doesn't add on to the nasty first start he had in the second half. It calms me down a bit, so it's trending in the right direction, but that's where my mind goes. I'm wondering with Zack Wheeler, you're hitting guys. You're looking so out of whack. Now, truth be told, he is so elite that he does find ways to keep you involved in a game and keep you, in the mix and in the fight. But the reason why we feel this team has a legitimate chance to win in a 5-game series and obviously in a 7-game series is because Zack Wheeler, the fucking workhorse dominant dog, is on the mound. Not the guy that's just going to keep you in the game, especially when you have the lead early. I was about to tweet, with what Otto Kemp did, with what Nick Castellanos did, I'm thinking, good luck, Yankees. You suck. There's no way you're going to come back in this one. You gave Zack Wheeler some wiggle room. You gave Zack Wheeler some breathing room. You're fucking dead. But I was wrong and stunned by it. Now, here's the reality of the Yankees. The Yankees are hot garbage. They're bad. Since June 13th, which, by the way, we're creeping into August now, but since June 13th, they are so bad that only the Washington Nationals has a worse record than them since that date. So I asked myself this question. If it was the same outcome and it was the Nationals instead of the Yankees, would I feel different? Yes. Does that logo, for some reason, add more value? That stadium, Yankee Stadium? Yes, because I think that there is an intensity that the Yankees know that they got to play with piss and vinegar to answer the critics and to prove people wrong and to get this right, and they couldn't. They cannot get this right. In fact, I saw piss poor defense again. I've heard Yankees fans screaming from the top of their lungs about how dysfunctional they are and how they can't play fundamental baseball. And okay, then I watched it for 3 straight games. Holy hell. Goldschmidt at first base throwing the ball 8 feet wide at home. Gross. Then you got Volpe and Jazz Chisholm with the middle infield with a combined, 25 errors or so on the year. And this is in a world where they barely count errors. So realistically, it should be 50 for both of them each. But they barely call errors anymore. So to have that many between those two is laughable. And then I constantly hear about Jason Dominguez and how in left field it's an experience where it looks like he doesn't know how to run. He doesn't know how to play the position whatsoever. And every time there was a fly ball to deep left field, I'm watching him do these weird steps and his weird ways to get to the ball. And he's going backwards. He's going left. He's going right. The ball's going the other way. He'll make the catch, but he does it in such a strange way. It doesn't even feel natural. And on top of that, you had to deal with losing Aaron Judge, which the game they won was the game where Aaron Judge didn't start the game. Although on Saturday, I don't think he was in there either, was he? But you had speaking of injuries, Sosa escaped one that could have been bad. JT Realmuto looked to be flexing his forearm or so during one of the at-bats. Look, this is the time of the year. This is where things become a grind. This is where things weigh you down. This is where things take its toll. It's stretch time. But you're banged up. You got to make it through. That's what separates you from the rest, is being able to maintain, being able to manage, and then having guys step up if they need to. This is a big Thursday for Dave Dombrowski. I have no idea how they're going to do this, and I've been pretty consistent with this message. I don't have a feel. And it bothers me that I don't have a feel because I think it's so obvious what they need to do. For a while, I've been running my mouth saying they're not even worth trying to to build around at the deadline, or that's probably the wrong way to say it, but I just thought they were so flawed. Not that you don't make moves, because you always make moves when you're in this position, but is it worth pushing all your chips in for this particular group, knowing how flawed they were? But the truth is, go back and look at all the prospects we have traded over the years. Go back and look at what Ruben Amaro did, right? And John Middleton, the sad statements that he made recently about not wanting to go after Hunter Pence, not wanting to add to that pitching staff. And I mean, it's just a ludicrous loser attitude that he gave. Go look back at some of those trades. How many all-star superstars did we give up? Listen up. These kids, 99.9% of them are going to be stiffs. So knowing that, what the hell? What the hell? There is a world where 5-6 years down the road, you have more prospects in the tank, in the holster. Over these next few drafts, you lock them up. And you do the same damn thing that you did when Dave Dombrowski got here to build the current prospects that are in the system now. Just do it again. It wasn't that hard. Dave Dombrowski did it. He took over. He did it. Boom. Now we have these prospects. Do it again while making trades. I just watched the Yankees go after a third baseman because they badly needed it. I'm watching the Yankees make decisions and still add. Now, I think they are extremely flawed. I think they're extremely injured. I think there's a lot going wrong with the Yankees, and I don't look at them as a serious threat or a serious contender, regardless on what their offensive stats are and what their record is and all that stuff. I don't care. I don't see them like that. But they can constantly add to their roster and go get a serious defensive third baseman who is probably better than what he's been giving you offensively this season. He's probably better. He had that rope down the first base line that helped clear the... Oh, no, it didn't clear the bases because there was some weird base running. Because, again, the Yankees are just not a smart team, but it's what you do. It's just what you do. So the fact that it's a coin flip on how in they are and how splashy they're going to be, it shouldn't be a debate. It shouldn't be 50-50. It should be 95-5. But instead, it's a coin flip. They may go random right-handed bat that is a nobody and a reliever. Or they may go after Suarez and get one of the big fish. He stinks defensively, and if Bohm's playing first, that's a really bad corner infield. And Trey has been a lot better this year, but you never know. That random hiccup could come up at any point. But is that the best to maximize the now?